I think it's fairly known that I always like to be the prettiest one in the family. So, Julie had started doing Nutrisystems and started creeping over into my lane of looking better than I did. And I had put on like 18 pounds after I'd gotten COVID. Something happened because I'd always been the same size since high school. And so I went on this partnership program with Julie and with Nutrisystem and ended up liking the food. And I lost my 18 pounds and now I'm down to 172.3. Took a picture of it this morning and I'm happy. I feel good. I feel good about kind of where I am. I feel good that I've got to go buy more clothes that actually fit better than the ones that I had. And I think that it's caused us to get to, if it's possible for us to be closer, because I like to think that Julie and I are as close as a couple's going to be. But I think it has caused us to become closer because it's the first job that you and I did together, not really a job, but like partnership.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think having that accountability, I mean, when you have someone that's doing it with you, we're talking about the same things, we're eating the same food, and we're both seeing results. And I think that has been the key. He saw the results in me and decided to join the Better Together Partner Plan. And it just made sense. It was just a natural progression for us. And it's working.
Why does it work? Because I saw on your Instagram, Todd, like you were saying, like, you've tried other diets, like, and you were always hungry and you're like, this is not for me, which is understandable. Like, why does this work?
Well, I was never a diet person. I mean, I never had to be on a diet because I had never gained weight since 1986 when I finished school. COVID caused that, but I did start doing shakes, I think around 2016, but not to really lose weight because I never lost weight. But it's because I forget to eat. And so Julie would put me on a shake just to make sure that I was getting something because I was if I wasn't filming, I was on a phone call. If I wasn't on that phone call, I was filming or I was, working on our development deals and things like that. And I'd forget to eat. So she put me on a shake. And then something happened with COVID. I was hungry for the first time in my life. And I realized that I just needed to chew. That's what it was. It was just the fact that I wasn't chewing.
Well, and I think too, I am a cook. I love to cook. I love to eat. I love good food. And I think Nutrisystem fit in that plan because I could still cook. We could still have a dinner or lunch. And then I could have my Nutrisystem food as well. So, and it tastes good. And for somebody who likes to cook and likes to eat, I'm not going to eat something that doesn't taste good. It's just, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to do something where I feel so restricted. And with Nutrisystem, you don't. If you are in the mood for pasta, there's a pasta dish. If you're in the mood for steak, if you're in the mood for chicken, whatever it is, there's something that fills that, whether you want an ice cream sandwich or.
And they are amazing.
Yes,
let me tell you something. The ice cream sandwiches is probably one of my favorite things.
Who doesn't love an ice cream sandwich, right?
Right.
Exactly. And you don't feel like you're depriving yourself. And so for me, that's why it works.
Now I have to say, so I'm going to share these codes with the audience when this comes out, but Julie, so you are Nutrisystem.com/Julie Deal. Todd, yes. You are Nutrisystem.com/Todd50. Now we know you're 53. Is this Todd 50 a reference to the fact that you would like us to think you're 50 years old?
No, listen, I've never lied about my age. I'm actually proud, that God has allowed me to live 53 years. So, I feel good at 53. I mean, my body still is doing what it's supposed to be doing. I still look hot when I get out of the shower. So, I mean, as long as I have the hotness factor, then I'm good. And how dumb would it be for me to be younger than my oldest child?
That is true. Do you guys have any guilty pleasures? Like, my guilty pleasure and the whole world's guilty pleasure, like you said, is Chrisley knows best, love the Kardashians. Like, do you guys love any, like, do you have a guilty pleasure? Like, do you watch Housewives? Do you watch anything
I
like
watch
that?
Housewives. I will admit, I watch Housewives. I love the Housewives. And yeah.
The Housewives is not, I don't watch a lot of television at all, but she got me hooked on Housewives of Beverly Hills, but I only watch because I think Kyle Richards is hot and I love her sister, Kathy. That's the only reason that I really watch that. But then I do watch on occasion, because Julie's watching it, Housewives of Atlanta, because Candy Burris is one of my dearest, sweetest friends. And I love seeing her because I think that she can give shade better than anybody on television. But my guilty pleasure is and has been since it came on is Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. So I watched that.
That's
and then
good.
my dear friends Tim McGraw and Faith Hill are in the new spinoff 1883. So I love how I've always known they were huge talents, but to watch them in this acting environment, it's just given me a whole other appreciation for them.
I agree. 1883 is amazing. Although I haven't watched much of it. Well, you
I
guys
won't ruin it for you, but let me just tell you, episode 5 is amazing.
Really? Okay, well, I'm almost there. Well, listen, I mean, you guys live in Tennessee now, but at some point you did live in Atlanta. We all know that. So, I mean, Julie, one day, far in the future, 20 years from now, when Chrisley Knows Best and all the spinoffs might be off the air, would you ever consider joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
No. Not Atlanta. No.
But now you say that, but you're saying it in a different way because you just don't want to be back in Atlanta.
No, I just don't want to be back in Atlanta. No, if I could go to Old Lady Gang and cook with Mama Joyce, I would do that in a minute. Yeah, 100%.
But it's just because we don't want to be back in Atlanta. We don't want that traffic. Our life is very easy here in Tennessee. But now I would be a housewife of Beverly Hills just so that I could be like best friends with Kathy Hilton.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that, she would probably leave Rick for me.
Well, being best friends with Kathy Hilton and being this I could see. Who do you think you would fight with if you were a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, Todd?
Who wouldn't he fight with?
Right. We have Dorit, we have Erica.
No, because I love Erica. And Lisa and I are good friends.
You and Dorit could fight over labels.
I think Dorit and I would probably be the one that would fight because Dorit's fabulous, but I don't think anyone's ever going to think she's as fabulous as she does. But I would probably, Kyle and I would probably argue because she has a menagerie of animals in her home and I don't. Kathy and I are going to be best friends.
Y'all would just lunch.
Yes, we would be best friends. Kathy and I would be best friends because she's got exquisite taste. Her home is stunning. And listen, she believes that her mother is still in the room with her. And I believe my dad's in the room with me. So she and I would be great friends.
I love that. Before we wrap up, I have to say, because we talked about all of your wonderful children, do you guys have now with Grayson and with Chloe, do you have a different parenting style? We've seen it a little bit on the show, but have you changed as parents, having older children and now having younger?
I think that as a parent, you evolve hopefully from one to the next. And we're older raising these kids now. And I think that we now can look at what worked with our older children and what didn't work. And plus, I just don't think the things that I stressed about when I was a young parent even matter to me.
We're just tired now.
We're beat down.
Yeah.
You're do what you want. It's fine.
We don't do that, but there is more margin for error. There is a little bit more grace given.